I'm not sure exactly what the issue was, but let me just run through the steps on how to get this going. So we're going to type in tool shop here, and then we're going to ungroup, the grouped places to the grouped items to the places they say to move it to. Like one goes to workspace, one goes to server storage, one goes to server script services, and one goes to replicated storage, right? And then you're going to go through and ungroup everything, right? Just like how we did. We're going to delete the original the tool shop that we downloaded into Workspace, and we're going to ungroup this tool shop. Okay, so we did all of that. And then the next step would be to come into settings SS. And since we do have a leader stats, we're going to change this to true, from false to true. And we're going to change our currency to our game's currency, which is Galactic Credits. So there we go. And then if we go ahead and run it, then we'll be able to go into the tool shop, purchase an item, and then equip it, right, and use it. Okay, so now the question is how do we download a weapon from the toolbox or create our own weapon and add it to the tool shop? Well, it's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and start with a sword, and then I'll show you how to do a gun. So the first thing you want to do is add the weapon and test it to see that it actually works. Because a lot of weapons, like the animation doesn't work, or when you press the mouse button, it doesn't actually fire or doesn't swing the weapon, right? So I'm going to take this guy, the Dragon Slayer, and where is he? Whoa. Okay. Just need one of them, and then let's see. I'm going to put him right next to the vehicle. Just so I don't lose the guy. Okay, so he's right over there. And then I'm going to play it. Because if you put it over the grass, then it's very easy to kind of lose the weapon in the grass, right? So let's go ahead and test it to see that it actually works. Okay, and there's our sword. Okay, I think I might have anchored him on there, which is not good. Let's go to model. Yep, he's anchored, so I'll undo that. Come back and I'll play it. Okay, now let's go over to the weapon and hopefully we can pick it up. Is that the sword? Okay, so this guy is not usable. So we're going to have to find one that is usable. Well, I know that this guy's definitely usable, I believe. So I'm going to not put him in there. And let's go ahead and delete the other sword that we found. Play this guy. Let's get that guy. Okay, so I got that sword. I'm equipping it. And the animation doesn't work, right? So you hear the sword swinging, but there's no animation. So again, you want to go ahead and try to find a weapon that actually works, right? The animation works, the firing of the weapon works, everything works. But just for now, I'm going to use this one to show you how to add a weapon into the store. So if we come over to here, okay, first thing you want to do is copy the handle or duplicate it. And then you're going to take that duplicated handle, wherever he him out, and then I'm going to go down into, where am I going to go? Workspace, Tool Shop. Yeah, Workspace, Tool Shop. And I'm going to go into one of my existing tools. Okay, so let's take tool number 3, which is the slingshot. I'm going to delete his handle. I'm going to paste in the handle, Command V the handle into tool 3. So I Command V'd into tool 3, but it put it here. So I'm going to grab him and put him into tool 3. So now that handle that I copied earlier is now here in tool 3. I want to make sure my item name here is the same as what I just entered in. So I'm going to come back and change this guy to new, well, I'm going to change his name to new sword. Okay. This new sword is something that you need to Command X, and we need to go downstairs into server storage, into tools, and we need to paste him into tools. Okay. So I pasted him into tools, but it just put him in server storage. So I'm going to grab him and put him into tools. Now he's inside here in tools. Okay. What next? Okay. So then we're going to go upstairs, back upstairs, and this is the tool that tool 3 is where I put his duplicated handle. So I'm going to go back to item name, and I'm going to change the name value to be new underscore sword. And the price, I'm going to change it to whatever price I want. Let's say $30. And then one last thing is the handle needs to be anchored downstairs into the tool shop. So this can be kind of awkward if your weapon looks kind of strange, like this one does. So I'm going to grab him because he's kind of on a diagonal, so give me a second here. I put him into place. Okay, go like that, go like that. Is he there? Nope, not yet. Put him there. Whoa. Okay, put him there. And maybe up a little bit. Okay, so he's now in the right location. I'm going to make sure that my handle is anchored. So I go to model and I anchor him. And I'm going to test it. Okay, go into the tool shop. Go to the right, go to the right. Equip that guy. Close it. And now I have the sword down here. And if I press 1, my sword... Oh, and the animation works. Excellent. Right? So there we go. Let me now show you something else. Because what we did last time is we took a gun and we did the same thing. So I'm going to show you how to get the gun to work. So let's get this AK. Don't put him into the starter pack. He's going to be sitting right here. Okay, now when we get the AK, what's the problem here? The problem with the AK is that all of his parts here, all of his different unions that he made, are outside of the handle. Okay, and the handle is the only part that we put into the tool 3. So if we only put the handle into tool 3, then that means this gun is not going to show up downstairs in the tool shop. Okay. So what do we need to do to get this gun to be appearing in the tool shop is you need to. So let me show you how that works. So first things first is we want to duplicate all of the parts. So all of the parts start with this guy and move down to this guy here. So I'm going to click the topmost one, hold down shift, and then click the bottommost one, including the handle. And then I'm going to press Control, click, and then duplicate. And then when I duplicate it, I'm going to press Command X to cut those guys out. Okay, so these are the original parts of the AK, all right? So I went ahead and duplicated all the parts, including the handle, and I Command X'd it out, so I cut it out. So now I'm going to come back here to tool 3, delete this guy's handle, and I'm going to try to paste in all those parts into tool 3. Okay, good. So it did, right? It pasted them all here into tool 3. So I have all the parts of the gun, and I also have the handle of the gun. So good. Now I'm good to go. Next thing I need to do, if you remember the steps, is I need to get the AK. Let me rename him AK so it's easier to say his name. And then I'm going to Command X him out. I'm going to go down to my server storage, go into one of my weapons. So I'm going to paste him into my tools, Command V him in. So you can see here, it did not go into the tools folder. It went right next to the tools folder. So I need to grab it and put it into the tools folder. Now he's in there. Okay, great. What next? Okay, so now I'm going to go back into this tool 3, change the name of the item from new sword to AK, and then my price is good. Okay, so then the last thing that we need to do is we need to take all of these parts that we copied, which are all the parts of the gun, including the handle, which is all of that stuff, right? So I click the topmost one, I hold down shift, and then I click the bottommost one. That selects all of them. And then I need to move this guy downstairs into the tool shop. Oh, where is that tool shop? Okay, there we go. Well, we'll move this guy down, and down, and down. Okay. Man, almost perfectly aligned with the tool shop. So, then I move him here, I anchor him down, right? And then I go ahead and play. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the tool shop. I'm going to go over to the AK, equip that guy, close it. It worked before I added him, so I should have probably done that. And if I did, I would have probably chosen a different gun that did work. And when I did all these steps, it would have shown the AK here. Okay. So anyways, those are the steps that you're going to take, and good luck with them.